Yeah, today is 9th of January 2023. No any legal improvements in European Union court case are performed so far. No son's custody from criminal colonization of the anonymous hostage by various types of criminal communities and criminal bodies. Up to now, criminal psychologist performances, game type crimes are continuing without realization of personal responsibilities and guaranteed by law inevitabilities of such in the global scales. Self-destructive criminals are still in the under-carpet criminal performances until thus are justified by force, reasonably collected for obligative justice and or reasonably murdered. Relating to legal facts, as per systematic official investigations, on the 5th of January 2023, and hostage underage son was brought to local Kurzeme district court building from the Parventa district by the blue guy in the electronic managements. Then he was given by the internal criminal personnel of mentioned court, which aren't understanding personal responsibilities either, to the criminal female which is mentioned in my electronic records, the Natalia Guryanova, the anonymous criminal female which is in blue psychology, blue perceptions, also game type criminal body. Then in the electronic nets were performed various types of blue management games, the so-called under-carpet setups. However, this night from 5th to 6th of January, underage kid spent again in the Parventa district. Might be with my sister-in-law. That was the possibility for the blue connection, because the blues are still in under-carpet criminal games. However, she isn't coming to contact due to the reason of personal attitude tensions, as most of the females are blaming me in these criminal games, and therefore attitudes aren't that lovely. Might be that night he spent again with the court criminals in the Parventa district. On the next day, on the 6th of January, an underage son in the under-carpet criminal executions was brought to the Ventspils City Orthodox Church, to the priest, to the Pope, for I don't know what, but this Natalia Guryanova is involved in these criminal machinations. What is in their minds, I have no idea, but definitely criminal aims. Night from the 6th to 7th of January, my isolated underage kid in the anonymous criminal hostage was staying in the priest's property of the Ventspils city. So in fact, these criminal games in the anonymous hostage of an underage kid by the ones who aren't realizing legal seriousness are continuing until the moment thus criminal bodies are reasonably justified or set to obligative responsibility. From the 7th of January, the kid was given back to Natalia with there is no clear picture, but might be the Natalia. Most probably is her, because not a clear picture, but or her or the court criminal players. Most probably is her, because the facts are not direct, however more than enough to indicate. Afterwards, optionally, this night from 7th to 8th of January, the kid spent with Natalia in their property, or was given back to the court black criminal monkeys. These anonymous criminal handlings are making extreme harms to the kid, which must be taken care by me. None of the criminals, none of them are capable to understand that, including the police criminal violators. Mostly criminal players aren't realizing that seriousness either until are reasonably justified. On the night from 7th to 8th of January, I had remote German blue connection to my electronic device. These Nazistic performances, I assume they wanted to know the attitudes or an information, therefore would like to express that Nazism cannot override the national legal heaviness, and in a legal managements or legal slaveries, as much as possible any ideologies, but in legal issues only power of national legality with personal responsibilities are the obligative regulatories, which can't be overridden by any force. After this night, early morning, I had moderate pain in my spine, with which was going to the neck, quite strange pain. However, that relates to possible harms during the anonymous criminal hostage of an underage kid, whom the criminals are trying to discriminate or to use for their criminal malicious aims, until those bodies are sent to jails and or reasonably collected and or reasonably killed. The black criminal monkey from the Parventa city, from the Parventa district, from Ventspils city, should be collected by force for obligative justice and or reasonable murder, as their criminal performances in electronic management systems and the information exchange is still for the blue criminal aims in relation to discriminational performances to an underage kids or any other people. On the 8th of January was an information about the possible location of an underage son in the Ventspils city, Kurzeme district, district police department. I made two phone calls to this police department, and no any cooperation or information provided about an underage son, or any situational information. Moreover, on the 8th of January, 7:15 in the evening, was heavy connection to my phone device from the blue criminal female from Riga city. Unknown source. That source will be checked. It's anonymous criminal connection, which must be taken for new investigations, because the blue criminal performances are still continuing, as they aren't capable to be honest or to provide legal information or to follow up the legal moral understandings frames, unless thus criminal bodies aren't justified to jail. Therefore, that's the reason why I warn the legal involvements once again to pay attention to the blue criminal female from Riga city and related to her systematic criminals, which are mostly in the police managements, which aren't capable to understand that they are citizens first of all before their childish wills of criminal power keepings, as well as anyone with all the systems can be set to legal responsibilities even for inactivities. Relating to European Union court case formalities and obligations, most of the involved, directly and indirectly involved criminal females will be forcefully locked to jails as per facts, and or reasonably collected and or reasonably murdered with public expressions for setting the strictness of legal performances in understandings of allowable activities towards others. Blue criminals, which are wielding the childish power over the others by the crimes, harms, discriminations, and similar things like the hostage of an underage kid, must be justified. Moreover, such criminal psychologies must be eliminated from the legal working places, such as government police, the courts, the prosecution. If the appropriate institutions, which I just mentioned, aren't acting against crimes, thus are legally malfunctional. That relates to the black minds, which are not understanding the legal seriousness but are wielding the systematic power in the competitive performances against others by the actual crimes, which must be justified with no mercies and no abilities for protection. To stop these heavy destructive resistances is necessary to execute obligations which are directed to national courts, as well as to execute legal payments in appropriate legal term, which is mentioned on the received by each party at national level invoices. The international invoices with the registered correspondence are still pending, are still on the way. But all the electronic registries are available to court case participants and court case involvements which are having legal obligations and the personal responsibilities that mostly relates to the feministic psychologies and authoritarianistic performances in under-carpet crimes, which such the statuses, the institutions are obligated to justify, to solve, and to pay attention for common securities in the global environments. I hereby also would like to offer, to suggest to Americans to create another one, electric chair for obligative justice of the heavy criminals in the global territories, which mostly are checked for the criminal performances and inabilities to accept common national legalities or even own country jurisdictions because thus aren't timely or situationally beneficial for their minded criminal authority. To make this electric chair for the justice and to bring to each country where the dangers are coming from, such as Germany, the several persons which are playing dangerous games. However, their minds and bodies must be adjusted to national standards. If that is not possible to achieve by the legal document, the signing of a legal document on the personal responsibilities in order to accept and follow up all national jurisdictions as well as execute such in the legal environments, legal performances, that would not be any types of criminal executions in the other countries than their own internal managements. Because these risks are the most dangerous for other countries' internal orders, as thus are objective, the countries are objective, but the criminal managements can destroy any country values or to use the easy-minded or light-minded personnel for own criminal aims. That's the Germany are having several criminal representatives who might be justified by that electric chair to sit them in the throne, you know, to apply. You like to be an authority, you have the throne. You sit the throne, do you accept the national legality and to sign the legal paper? If they don't want to sign, to apply them as a big bosses on the throne and to switch on the electricity. Same must be performed in the other European countries where the black criminals aren't understanding legal seriousness but are willing the criminal power, destroying the functional scopes. As well as in Norway against the criminal animals, which are having quite capabilities in systematic and electronic management systems to the other countries, due to the reason that thus are feeling totally permissive until their lives are justified as per facts of performed crimes or deliberate criminal violences. Open murders are existing for prevention of the possible risks after legal investigations and determination of the criminal bodies and their performances as per existing national codes and level of dangers in the criminal psychologies as well as in the performances as per facts. In Republic of Latvia, the forced justice must take place in the obligative collections. Once the facts of the payments will be publicated, and if the payments will not be executed, the open murders will start mostly against the criminal females and black criminals. There is no possibilities to influence the criminal bodies in any types of illegal systems, their obligations, except to force them to execute such and to be justified as per facts and appropriate national jurisdiction. Thank you for attention.